We're all looking for quick ways to become more fluent in English. I know, I understand what happens is that there are just a few words circling our brain and we need to make this entire conversation using just awesome, amazing, cool or epic. So how about we learn some smart new English words that you can use in your daily life and elevate your vocabulary in minutes. So today we're going to learn 10 new smart words, their meanings, root words and example sentences. So let's get going. Happy watching. Hey everyone, this is Chetna and you're watching Chet Chat. And in this video, I'm going to give you 10 smart words for daily use. And at the end of this video, I'm also going to give you a smart tip to sound really fluent. Smart word number 1 is swamped. Swamped means drowning or flooding, but swamped is often used in the context of work. Like I'm swamped with work. I have too much work to do. I've been swamped with work this entire week. I've barely had time to breathe. Now, let's look at the root of this word. Swamp is a piece of wetland. And if somebody steps in the wrong place on a swamp, they could easily drown. And the verb form of swamp means to sink. So here's how you can use this word. Let's say you have a lot of assignments and you have a test coming up and your friends come to you and they say, hey, why don't you hang out with us? You can say to them, I'm so sorry, but I'm swamped with work, or I'm swamped. Some other words that you can use in place of swamped are, I've got too much to do, there's too much on my plate, I'm drowning in work, I'm deluged with assignments. Smart word number 2 is catch-22. Now, I'm sure you've heard this word before. Catch-22 means an impossible situation in which you can't do one thing unless you've done the other, and you can't do the other because you haven't done the first. Have I confused you? So let me give you some examples. A catch-22 situation is when you don't get a job without having work experience, but you can't get experience until you get a job. Catch-22 was coined by Joseph Heller in his famous book of the same name, Catch-22, when he was describing some contradictory rules that were applicable to soldiers during World War II. Another example of Catch-22 is you need a bank loan because you don't have enough money, but you won't get that bank loan unless you prove to the bank that you have enough money. So next time you're stuck in a tricky situation, remember to use the word catch-22 and get these admiring looks from your friends. Other words that you can use in place of catch-22 are paradox or dilemma. Smart word number 3 is suave. Suave. Suave means to be sophisticated, to be polite, poised, cool and well-mannered. The word suave has several different origins, but one very interesting Indo-European origin of the word is suade, which means pleasant or sweet tasting. Example, he is so poised and suave, especially in front of the ladies. Or Barack Obama is so suave and polished. Now, remember when you're at a party next time and you see this person who's so well-mannered and cultured and sophisticated, don't forget to say, hey, who's that suave guy right out there in the corner? Using this word will instantly make your vocabulary very suave. Smart word number 4 is atrocious. Atrocious. The word atrocious means something really bad, horrible, terrible, cruel, appalling, offensive. Atrocious has a Latin root called atrox, which means fierce, cruel or terrible. Some examples of the word atrocious are the recent rape incidents in Delhi were atrocious, or prisoners are treated in an atrocious manner sometimes in prisons. Atrocious is also used in day-to-day life to talk about some common wrongdoing and you want to exaggerate it. For example, his table manners were atrocious, or her dress sense is so atrocious, or his grammar is atrocious. So the next time you hear of a horrific act on the news, remember to remark and say that this is an atrocious act. Smart word number 5 is stupendous. Stupendous. Stupendous means amazing, astonishing. Now we often use the word awesome. Here's another word that you can use in place of awesome. Stupendous. For example, today I got a stupendous score on my test, which means I got a very high score or I got a near perfect score. The word stupendous has classical Latin roots from the word stupor, which means to be stunned. So stupendous is used to describe something that is stunningly good. For example, she looks stupendous in that dress. Or, what a stupendous view from this balcony. Or, I'm reading this stupendous book that I can't put down. How about you go and tell your friends that Chet Chat is this stupendous channel for students. And some other words that you can use instead of stupendous are incredible, fantastic, or exceptionally good. Okay, so before we continue with the balance 5 words on this video, remember to put a comment under this video to tell me which of these 10 words was your favorite. Smart word number 6 is in a fix. In a fix means to be in a troublesome situation. For example, boy, I'm in a fix because I've made plans with 2 different friends for this evening. I've lost my phone and I'm in a fix. Or, our bus broke down this morning and I'm in a fix. My friend always turns to me for help when he's in a fix, and when the going is good, he forgets about me. So the next time you get math homework from school, for example, and if you've left your math book in school, then you can tell your friends that you're in a real fix. Now you may think that the word fix has something to do with repairing something, but no, in a fix means to be in a troublesome situation. Other words that you can use instead of in a fix are I'm in a soup, or I'm in a mess, or I'm in a spot of bother, or just I'm in a spot. Smart word number 7 is flummox. Flummox. Flummox means to confuse someone so much that they forget what to do. Now confuse tends to be an overused word. So instead of that, why don't you use flummox? For example, the boy looked completely flummoxed when the teacher asked him a question in class. Or, the dog was flummoxed looking at his own reflection in the mirror. Or, the tourist was flummoxed by the different customs that he encountered during his travels. Or, in an interview, when she was asked, why should we hire you, she looked completely flummoxed. So, next time, if you get confused on any questions, for example, in an examination, then you can always say that because I hadn't prepared very well for the exam, I was flummoxed by some of the questions. Other words that you can use instead of flummoxed are bewildered, puzzled, or perplexed. Smart word number 8 is rendezvous. Rendezvous. Rendezvous is a very French way of saying meeting or date. For example, I have a rendezvous with my friends over lunch on Saturday, or I'm planning to rendezvous with my friends at the mall for movies. Rendezvous can be used both as a noun or as a verb. For example, I have a rendezvous with my friends this evening, or I'm going to rendezvous with my friends tomorrow. In France, earlier, rendezvous was used by the army to indicate a meeting place for the troops. Now, there's something slightly exciting and secretive about the word rendezvous even now. So, while you can use rendezvous for any meeting in general, but it won't be very appropriate for an official meeting. So, if you have a date, perhaps, you can certainly call that a rendezvous. Smart word number 9 is obtuse. Obtuse. Obtuse is an insult. You would use it when you're trying to call someone dumb or unintelligent or dim-witted. Now, you've heard the word obtuse in geometry. obtuse angle and acute angle. So an obtuse angle is an angle greater than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees, and an acute angle is this sharp angle less than 90 degrees. So acute as a word is used to denote sharp and therefore also mentally sharp, and acute is denoting blunt and therefore also a little slow in the mind. So example sentences with obtuse are: the man was so obtuse that he gave away his password to a fake caller. Or the obtuse child wasn't able to answer a single question on the test. Or the obtuse man had a hard time understanding even basic instructions. Now, suppose in your situation in daily life, your boyfriend or your girlfriend is angry with you and you don't know why. So you can say to them, maybe I'm being obtuse, but I don't know why you're so upset. Smart word number 10 is sluggish. Sluggish. Sluggish means to move in a slow manner, to be kind of slower paced than usual, to look a bit tired and lacking in energy. Example, a heavy lunch makes me very sluggish in the afternoon. Sluggish has roots from the word sluge, which means a slow person. And a slug is an animal that moves around really very slowly, like a snail. Examples: the economy has been very sluggish this year, or the match picked up after a sluggish start, or business has been sluggish this quarter. You can use it in your daily life. If you're feeling very tired one day, you can tell your mom or you can tell your friends, I'm feeling very sluggish today. I could do with an energy drink. Other words that you can use in place of sluggish could be lethargic or dragging my feet. So those were the 10 smart words. And before I give you that secret tip to sound very fluent, I want to remind you that in case you're looking for smart words to use on a telephone call, then I'm putting a link to a video down in the description box for that. And now the secret tip. The secret tip to sound fluent is to use not more than one smart word per sentence. I know sometimes we get very excited because we've learned a whole lot of these smart words and we tend to stuff 2, 3, 4 of them in one sentence. That doesn't sound natural. So, one at a time. Be sure that you're pronouncing the word in the right manner. Go on to Google and type the word, and in the search right on top you'll see a little speaker icon. Click on that speaker and hear the pronunciation once or twice and you're ready to go. And if you've liked this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, put a comment for me under it telling me which of these 10 words was your favorite. And also, if you haven't already, press the subscribe button and the bell icon right next to it. And happy watching!